Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Friends You Can Keep podcast. I did not feel like cleaning the table off, so we're here again. The very centralized thing, as I was looking at it to set the camera up, I realized this is giving, like, big Good Mythical Morning vibes.
Are all they're seeing is the microphones?
No.
Oh.
You didn't see it when you hit start?
I didn't.
You can see us. It's this whole frame. From the edge of the couch to my edge of the couch is what it is.
Okay.
But the microphones are like in the middle. Like it looks like what Good Mythical Morning looks like. Except this is higher. Like it would be nice if it was down here, but this is the only table I have to work with right now. So if you follow us on social media, you're very aware that we did this last week. I have not been recording on the laptop for quite a while now because it's kind of a pain in the ass. Haven't had any problems with the phones. Now all of a sudden, 3 times ago, on the other phone, my old phone, which is now the timer, that records in like 30-minute increments. So 30 of those were fine. The other like 2 or 3 videos that were the full length, error. We didn't record these. So,
it did record them and then they corrupted or something.
Well, it was recording the whole time, but when I hit stop, it said like, "Oh, this didn't work."
Something got corrupted, yeah.
So that got fucked up. That was the episode that like wasn't finished. It just abruptly ends mid-conversation, which is sad because we talked about a lot. But that's kind of the downfall of this podcast being so spur of the moment. Is that like also we can't really recreate that magic. Nope. Same thing happened last week. We recorded this episode. I was listening to the video when I was editing it, and at literally 2 minutes and 20 seconds, you hear a tap, and then for the entire hour and 30 minutes left, you hear just the entire, that's all the audio is, and yeah, real shame. We had some great jokes about Teddy Roosevelt in that one. Teddy Roosevelt?
Mm-hmm. No.
FDR. FDR.
Yeah. The wheelchair.
Yeah, because we're going to do an entire series. To fill you in on that, we can't give you the hilarity of it because it was so spur of the moment. But we're going to do a series at some point of shorts that is people working in the White House or people visiting the White House realizing that FDR was in a wheelchair. Because that really fascinated me that no one knew he was handicapped.
Yeah, it was really...
But the point of this episode is we have polled 5 of our friends?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6, and then if you count Kelly, 7 of my friends. Just as I guessed our friends' favorite movies, and Kelly guessed our friends' favorite TV shows, we have enlisted our friends to try and guess my favorite TV shows. You are correct if you're a fan of Smosh that we also stole this from them. The way it's going to work is if I have given my top 10 on my list here. They gave 3 guesses each category and each person. If you have an answer in my top 10, you get 1 point. If you have an answer in my top 3, you get 2 points.
You get a bonus point.
The winner at most points at the end is definitively my best friend. And we will see. One of these people was my best man. One of them is my wife. One of them is the godfather to our first child. So we'll see what happens here. Maybe some mistakes have been made in my life. We'll find out today. I'm going to write down the points. I almost forgot here. And unfortunately, my pen doesn't work. There we go. So we've got Jeremy, former guest on the show. Julie, former guest on the show. Justine and Brad, who I really want to have on the show, and maybe could be more possible now that they live in Pennsylvania again. And yeah, I'll just do next to each other. Ryan, former guest on the show. Andrew, former guest of the show. And Kelly, former guest of the show. Depending on how this goes.
Former wife of the show.
So we're going to dive right in. we're going to start. Are we starting with the movies?
Yeah, that's how, movies.
Same order. Yes. Yeah. So the way we're going to do this is, you will read off everyone's answers.
Yeah.
And then I will go back through and read my answers, and then we will tally up points at the end of each round. So.
All right. So
proceed.
Movies. We got Jeremy coming in with The Lion King, Infinity War, and Logan. Logan being very topical.
Yeah.
Julie said The Muppet Movie, which I forgot about, Iron Man, and Star Wars. If a Star Wars movie of any variety happens, because who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Justine said Willy Wonka, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and Aladdin. Brad also said Willy Wonka, The Birdcage, and Endgame. So we'll see if one of the Infinity War versus Endgame. And then Ryan has Hamilton, and that's it. Andrew has Death to Smoochie, Willy Wonka, and The Avengers, which I assume is the correct one. It's not like Star Wars.
No, the first Avengers movie is The Avengers.
Okay, just checking.
Marvel's The Avengers was the first Avengers movie.
And my guesses were Willy Wonka, The Birdcage, and Aladdin.
Okay, top-notch guesses all around. I'm not gonna lie.
Lots of overlap.
You all gave great answers. Infinity War and Endgame I didn't put on here because I can't. It's hard for me to separate them. Like, action-wise, Infinity War was the better movie. Dramatically, Endgame is the better movie. But they're also, like, as much as Kevin Feige and the Russos and all these people want to say, like, well, it's not a part 1 and part 2. Like, Endgame doesn't happen without Infinity War.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. There is no Endgame without Infinity War. So it is a part 1 and a part 2. So I don't. Like, if I was going to put that as an answer, it would have just been like.
Both of them?
I don't know how I would have written it, but it would have just been like.
Well, they're both on there.
Yeah.
They have to both be on there.
Star Wars is great, but I'm not like a.
We're not a Star Wars household.
Well, I like Star Wars, but I'm not.
We're not a Star Wars household.
But
you
I'm not a
pretend like
big.
You like them, but
No, I do like them, and I liked The Mandalorian, and I liked Mandalorian season 2.5, which was the Book of Boba Fett. But like, I just haven't. People talk about like superhero burnout. I was kind of burned out on Star Wars. I didn't watch Ahsoka. I didn't watch The Acolyte. I didn't watch. I started something and never finished it. I don't know. I just got bored of it. Like, I just don't care.
Yeah, it was just not one where.
Like, I liked the original 3. The prequels were awful. I don't care what anyone says, and they're new. Like, oh, my hindsight.
No one likes them.
The Disney ones are so shitty that it really made me appreciate the ones from the 90s.
No, you did not.
Like, the only good thing,
2000s.
the only good thing from the 2000s was the whole fight scene between Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
It's the only good thing.
Yeah, the dialogue's terrible.
Yeah.
It's like George Lucas has never spoken to a human being.
And I liked Force Awakens. I liked Rise of Skywalker.
Let's focus on the ones that you do.
I'm just elaborating on some things. My top 10 for movies. The Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh, we all forgot about that.
I love a good Wes Anderson movie.
A good Roald Dahl.
A good Roald Dahl. Good Wes Anderson was hard. I mean, I wouldn't rank like, all his movies are my favorites, but he wasn't. There was somebody else who I can't remember off the top of my head where I thought about. Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
Where I was going to put like Young Frankenstein's up there. It's not on here because then I thought like I could easily just put like Mel Brooks is just like this. So I was like,
I won't. For a specific movie.
Yeah, I will. I'll separate Mel from this because I can't just put like favorite movies. Mel Brooks. Fantastic Mr. Fox, Aladdin, the animated Aladdin.
Who else said that? Yeah, we know Justine means the animated one.
Yes,
from the 90s.
I'm pretty certain everybody means the animated one from the 90s. Death to Smoochie.
Yeah.
The Birdcage.
Andrew remembered that one.
Iron Man. Anchorman. Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Clue. Which I just watched for free on Pluto TV the other day because it was on and I turned it on. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
My top 3, in no particular order, are The Birdcage,
Ooh.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory,
Mm-hmm.
and Anchorman.
Ooh.
I was very torn on my top 10. I was very torn on my top 3. Well, outside of Willy Wonka. Like, that's my...
What was the top 3 again? The Birdcage, Willy Wonka?
Birdcage, Willy Wonka, and Anchorman.
Okay.
Because Willy Wonka will always and forever be my top favorite movie. Like, it's been there for a while. I'm hard pressed to think that something will come and pass it. But like, yeah, Anchorman I think was kind of a sneaky one for a lot of people, but we quote that movie jokingly and seriously so often.
Yeah, sometimes you have to like realize.
And it is a movie similar to The Birdcage, similar to all these movies, where like I could watch these movies every day for the rest of my life
I used to watch Anchorman
and never get tired of
like
them.
every night.
I could watch The Birdcage every day, never tire of it. Like it's just I don't know what it is about that movie. It's so funny to me. I love that other people, like I'm sure it's an algorithm thing, but like I'm seeing a resurgence of it on Facebook in different posts and different jokes. There was a post about it
Well,
the other day.
the Purin tablets are coming around. I keep seeing like
Yeah, they're aspirin with the little A and S.
Why are you
scratched
giving
off.
her drugs? I'm not. It's an aspirin with the A and the S scratched off. And it's like, why are you giving her more, like it's parents giving their kids juice.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you giving them more juice? It's just water with a drop of apple juice.
Yeah.
But it's always the sound of...
Yeah. Well, I've seen a resurgence of the whole, like, it's a blooper when he falls in the kitchen. Like, you can hear you can hear Robin Williams laughing, but they kept it in because, like, everyone held it together so well in that scene. Which is such an iconic, like, he didn't make an entree. Why didn't you make an entree? It's sweet and sour pesto soup. It is an entree.
All right, you ready for the scores?
Yes.
So Jeremy has 0. Julie has
What the fuck? There we go.
1. Justine has 4.
Ooh.
Brad has 4.
Ooh.
Ryan has 0.
Ooh.
Andrew has 2.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm sorry, 3. 3. Because you got a bonus.
Somebody's trying to skin.
No, I caught it. And I have 5.
My brother-in-law says it best. If you're keeping score and you don't win, you're not doing something right.
Correct. That's only for miniature golf.
Sure. TV shows.
Okay. Jeremy said Loki, Better Call Saul, and X-Men 97. Never heard of it, but...
I haven't started it yet, but I want to.
Julie said Bluey, Bob's Burgers, and Futurama. Justine said Stranger Things, The Simpsons, and Bluey. Brad said Family Guy, Breaking Bad, and The Simpsons. Ryan said Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and Peaky Blinders. Andrew said Game of Thrones, The Simpsons, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And I said Breaking Bad, Succession, and Midnight Mass.
Okay. I want to address a few things. Midnight Mass was not on here because it was a limited series, but I do.
Oh. Well, I didn't realize that. I don't...
Midnight Mass.
I just know that you keep telling me to watch it, so
Yes.
I just put it
Well,
on there.
He's a weird one because, like, they're all the same cast mostly, and it's all the same writer-director. But, like, Midnight Mass was one season. The Haunting of Bly Manor was one season. The Haunting of Hill House was one season.
Oh. And they're not the same characters?
No, they're not the same characters.
Okay, yes.
But it's not, like... It's not that fucking hackneyed American Horror Story bullshit.
Yeah. They're just...
What else was on there? Stranger Things. You don't... And the same thing goes for... I'm hoping Andrew is joking when he says Game of Thrones. I
that's why
really
laughed.
desperately hope Andrew is joking when he says Game of Thrones. Because...
You have to like all of the seasons.
A show for me to be in my top anything needs to be good, a minimum of good, beginning to end.
Right, you can have some
Stranger
seasons.
Things has an entire crap season. Game of Thrones, for me personally, has 2 entirely shit seasons.
Yeah, especially if your ending is bad.
Especially if you don't go out on top.
Yeah.
I can even forgive... Stranger Things might be up there. You had a shit season, but it was in the middle. Maybe
Yeah.
you'll bring it back in the final season, and I'll really
The
love
last
the
one
show.
was good.
The last season was very good.
The last 2 seasons. were
Game of
very
Thrones
scary.
was really on top, and then the last 2 seasons just phoned it in, and we all
Yeah.
know why.
Yeah.
They were writing a Star Wars movie, and then that shit flopped, and Disney and Lucasfilm was like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Hard pass. I don't think there was anything else on there that was really...
No.
X-Men 97 I want to start, but I want to watch the old series first. Loki is fantastic. It is not on my list. Succession. Again, very tough. I liked that show a lot. It was very tough for me. I don't think...
For some reason, I was trying to think of like
Not-
newer shows. So
yeah,
that's
only
but-
one of my shows is like...
Yeah.
Well, no. 2 of them are still on the air. And 1, 2, 3... Like, a handful of them are newer. But they're very... Like... I'm not going hard into like new shows, but Succession was fantastic. Oh, Peaky Blinders. Again, I want to start that show and I just haven't gotten around to it. My top 10: Breaking Bad,
Yep.
greatest television show of all time. Sons of Anarchy.
I forget about that one,
I love that show. So good.
and I don't know why.
Schitt's Creek.
I forgot about that one too,
The Simpsons.
and that one.
Family Guy. What We Do in the Shadows. Cheers. Veep. Taskmaster. And Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Who said? There it is. I'm like, who said Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Great show. What are the top 3?
My top 3 are The Simpsons.
Yeah.
I almost gave it to Family Guy because I do know a lot of Family Guy references. I also know a lot of Simpsons references. But, like, Family Guy is newer, and I think it's kind of that thing of, like, it's just fresher. Because The Simpsons is an OG for me, and I'll always like, I'm never going to not like The Simpsons. I have tons of merchandise in The Simpsons.
So the other one is Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. They're not in any particular order, but, like, Breaking Bad's number 1.
Well, I knew it
Breaking
was
Bad's the
on there.
best TV show of all time.
Because
And
you said that.
Taskmaster.
I
A British...
forgot about that
A
one.
British television show that I watch exclusively on YouTube because you can't watch it here in America, and it has engulfed my life in a way of like now we're doing it with your family at the holidays. I just love that show so much. The comedians are so funny. I love Greg Davies. It's such a great show. That's why I like Game. I really struggled, like Game Changer, all those shows on Dropout. I really struggled with that because it is a streaming platform.
Yeah.
But I'm like, do I count these?
We would have needed a category for like internet shows, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Well, it's funny because they were doing a campaign for the Emmys, and Sam Reich addressed when they didn't get nominated. Like, number one, like, it would have been fantastic to be nominated. It would have been fantastic to win. But like, we're those game shows that are nominated are like legit game shows that have been on TV for years, and they're on actual TV. We're on a niche streaming app that is like made from the remains of a dead YouTube channel, which was College Humor. So like we really honestly weren't expecting to be nominated.
Yeah,
but
it's just
like
the publicity of it.
And that's what he said. Like in the long run, we'd had billboards and stuff. Like this got our content to new eyes, and we might have new subscribers. And like new subscribers means more money, which gives us better opportunities to make more shows and better shows. And like,
so maybe they could in the future win
But-
something. But all right, so Jeremy has 0 still. Julie has 0.
what the fuck is happening with this pen?
Justine has 2. Brad has 5.
Ooh.
Ryan has 2. Andrew has 3 again.
Ooh.
And I add 2.
Brad has passed you.
Yep. I think. Oh, Andrew and I are close. 6 and 7.
6 and 7. Justine has 6. Brad has 9.
Yeah.
Woo! Music.
All right.
I think probably the most difficult round for
Jeremy
everyone.
coming out swinging with Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, and Sugarland.
I know 3. They were all probably meant to be joke answers, but I like Ariana Grande. So
Julie said Seth MacFarlane. She had a. I don't know if she just didn't know any other answers or if she's sort of like.
I should have been more specific.
But then she just put punk and classic.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that.
I should have been more specific because when I sent that stuff out, Brad also asked.
And I should have re-asked her.
Brad also asked, like, are you looking for songs or are you looking for, like, bands and musicians?
Yeah.
And I had specified to him, like, it's bands because songs have been way too hard for people to guess and for me to narrow down what my top 10 favorite songs are.
All right. Then Justine said Billy Joel, Elton John, Johnny Cash. Brad said Billy Joel, Frank Sinatra, and Brett Eldredge. Ryan could not make a guess. He was not. He left that one blank.
Okay.
Andrew said Panic at the Disco, Queen, and Elton John. And I said Queen, Billy Joel, and the Foo Fighters. I feel like these are, well... I mean, they're all great answers.
Yeah, a lot of great answers.
We know Jeremy knows you don't like Taylor Swift.
Yeah, that was very...
Sometimes
I'm aware it was a bit.
In his answer to me, he put like a laughing emoji next to it, so I was like...
I think it's all of them. I'm pretty sure he's aware that I don't really care for Sugarland either.
Why that one? I wasn't sure if like maybe he just like looked up like country group and they came up.
I think that's probably also a bit.
So, but
yeah,
they're all good guesses.
All good guesses.
I think we have a lot of right answers. I think
my top 10 are the Foo Fighters.
I can't believe I'm the only one who said that.
Elton John.
A lot of him.
The Zac Brown Band.
Hold on, wait a minute. We got this all. Where did it go? Here we go. This is complicated. Oh, I didn't. Okay.
Zac Brown Band. Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, Julie got one.
Stevie Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
John Legend. Adele. And Bruno Mars. My top 3 are Adele.
Oh.
The Foo Fighters.
Oh.
And Billy Joel.
Oh.
I am very much like, for those of you that watch The Boys, I'm very Huey coded in the fact of I love
So the top
Billy
3
Joel.
were Adele, Billy Joel, and the Foo Fighters.
Correct.
Okay.
I think Adele is a once in a lifetime talent.
Yeah.
I almost said once in a generation, and then I changed it to once in a lifetime. I think she's a once in a lifetime talent. I love her voice. I have not heard a bad song by Adele. Funny. She's very funny. Foo Fighters are probably my favorite rock band of all time. And yeah, Billy Joel is number 1. I love Billy Joel. I could listen to Billy Joel all day, all night.
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
None for Jeremy. 1 for Julie. 3 for Justine.
Ooh.
2 for Brad. None for Ryan. 2 for Andrew.
Ooh.
And 5 for me.
Ooh.
Which I think brings Brad and I back up to close.
So Brad has 11 and you have 12.
Ooh! How'd that happen?
Justine has 9 and Andrew has 8.
Ooh, this is real.
So a close race.
Anything can still happen because we got some funky categories coming up.
A close race.
The music, this one.
Movie musicals is the next category.
This one's going to get a bit wild. So, I don't know if this was a mistake or how we're going to score it, but Jeremy did put Hamilton twice. Like, he put Hamilton and Hamilton, and I don't know how or why, because there was no explanation, and I didn't really realize it, and I just
probably
left
didn't think of another one, so he just put Hamilton
Yeah.
twice, thinking like, oh, they'll give me points for both of them.
Yeah, I don't know. So
but I would probably only accept one.
One, right.
I didn't put it on here twice, so.
And then he also guessed The Greatest Showman. Julie said Hamilton, Rent, and Wicked. Justine said Hamilton, Mamma Mia, and The Book of Mormon. Which I don't know if it was ever made into a movie or not, but
Well, Wicked was also not, so I think there's some confusion on movie musicals.
yeah,
but it's
okay.
fine.
It's okay. Also, it's hard.
I would
It's so
love
hard.
to see The Book of Mormon as a movie
Hamilton,
because I want to see it.
Little Shop of Horrors, and then Mrs. Doubtfire.
Which was a stage production musical.
Right, so another one that
but
was...
not a movie.
Yeah. Ryan said Hamilton, Frozen, and High School Musical.
Okay.
But does he mean High School
No, he means
Musical
High School Musical.
movie, the musical?
No, he means High School Musical.
And then Andrew said Hamilton, Willy Wonka, and The Greatest Showman. See, when I saw that was in this category, then I didn't know where we were putting Willy Wonka. So I put it under movie. But Andrew put it down. Oh, he put it both. Okay, I like it. Good call. And I
mean,
said...
it is a movie and it's a musical.
Yeah.
So.
I said Hamilton, The Greatest Showman, and Moulin Rouge.
Okay. I'm interested in the Wicked movie that's coming out. It's not a movie musical yet. And I would love the Book of Mormon.
Is it going to be like a movie musical like Dear Evan Hansen, or it's going to be a movie musical like Hamilton?
Like Dear Evan Hansen.
Okay. Like a legit, or Little Shop of Horrors.
Let's not use that as the example.
Well, that's just
because that movie was dog
I think
shit.
that was the most recent one that was like that. I mean, Little Shop of Horrors is that way.
Little Shop of Horrors is that way. What up? Mamma Mia is that way. Rent is that way.
I think Mamma Mia was a movie first. Yes.
No, it was not.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
Rita Wilson and Tom Hanks saw it on stage and adapted it into a movie.
Because I thought I saw the movie first.
Yes.
And
a lot of people did. Because I'm pretty sure they saw, like, before
it wasn't huge.
the show was big. Like, they saw it in, like, its very, very opening run somewhere. Because she had up a posted today about its anniversary.
What, and everyone had up about
Rita Wilson
July 17th. What a night. Or July 18th. One of those. In the first movie, when she, like, finds her mom's diary and she's reading about it, the sex happens on July 17th or 18th.
Sure. Book of Mormon, though, I would love to see. So, make a movie out of it.
Dum, 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 dum. That's
all
I know. That's all I know.
I would love more... I would love more like Hamilton. Like, I'm fine if you make a movie and it's good. Like, Dear Evan Hansen was garbage. I didn't care for the Disney Into the Woods. But, like... I don't mind doing a movie if it's good, but I also would love to see more of like what they did with Hamilton.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why they're not. Like I've had this conversation with Ryan and Andrew and like other people that do stage stuff where it's like
they are.
I get the like. It's the same thing with people like directors and shit with movies. Like you shouldn't be watching it at home. This should be viewed on the big screen.
Well, it takes away from the
theater people, or it's the theater experience, and you should see it on stage. But I also like, people can't do that. People can't. Number one, people can't afford that. Number two, shows like Hamilton, the fucking tickets sell out in a goddamn heartbeat. Like no one's getting tickets.
And also, like it was only in Broadway in New York.
Yeah,
it's not like a movie theater.
Well, so people have to travel because because they're doing traveling shows now. But like it's how long do they do a traveling show?
And I think it is like it has to be
because you can't
on Broadway for so long. Then there has to be like
we're not saying stop doing the traveling shows, whatever. Like still do them. Like I would still, given the opportunity to see it on stage, I would still prefer that.
Yeah,
but like if I can't see Hamilton done on stage, I would love to watch it on TV.
Why not make your culture?
If I can't see
that
Book of Mormon and stuff like that, like it just makes it more accessible.
Kind of culture more available.
Yeah, it makes it more accessible to people to film it, and I'm sure they film a lot of them. They just
you can rent them from the library.
Well, and there's like Broadway.com has a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I don't know if like a public library does, but like I know from DeSales, their library. Yeah. But they also had a theater program, so I don't know if that. But like you could rent certain shows.
My top 10 movie musicals. Hamilton.
Duh. I'm sorry, Jeremy, you only getting it once. Did everyone say Hamilton? Let's just make sure. Yep, everyone said Hamilton.
A controversial pick amongst some, but I really enjoyed the Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe, Anne Hathaway, Les Mis.
Okay.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. That
love
really
Rick Moranis. Love Steve Martin. The Muppets. The Jason Segel Muppets. I always want to say Sudeikis. It's the S.
Yeah.
Because I like Jason Sudeikis more than Jason Segel, so I default to Jason Sudeikis. But, so yeah, the newer Muppets, which I love the Muppet movie. Don't get me wrong, but the Muppets resonated with me more.
Yeah, it was great.
I think because it was
Good
more like that movie is more of my time.
Yeah.
And I really like when they do. I legitimately, I'm not ashamed to admit this. I cried in theaters when they're trying to convince Kermit to come back, and it's the whole like, well, does anybody care about the Muppets anymore? And I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn it! And then he
There's
sings
pictures in my head.
pictures in my head, and it made me cry so hard. I was so mad at myself.
I saw that movie in theaters.
So did I. That's where I cried.
I did not cry, but I did see it
Well,
in
you don't cry
theaters.
for anything. You're a stone cold bitch.
Uh,
Moulin Rouge,
yeah.
the non-talked about Star Wars prequel. A movie I think people forget about, if they've ever even heard of it, is Idlewild, the Outcast musical.
I never saw it.
We didn't watch it?
No?
We should. It's really good. I saw it in theaters with my mom
Maybe parts of it?
because it came out when I
I don't remember if we
It came
did.
out when I couldn't drive, so I wanted to really see it. My mom took me to see it. The Greatest Showman, obviously.
So good.
The
It's-
2017 live-action Beauty and the Beast.
No,
I didn't
yes.
put it. I did not put Aladdin here because Aladdin was in regular movies,
Yeah, and Willy Wonka.
even though it could be in both. But then I thought, like, what else do I really like? And I do love the animated Beauty and the Beast, but the live-action one added enough to it
It's
that
so good.
it really it does what a lot of their live-action remakes didn't do, and it adds to make it better. It doesn't take away and make it worse. It doesn't add and make it like it. It added on to the story from the animated one and made it.
I really
Better.
like if I were to listen to the Beauty and the Beast songs, I would listen to the live action soundtrack over.
Yeah.
Like, not that I like the animated
People
one.
shit all over
Emma
Watson in that movie, and I'm like, I didn't mind her.
No, I didn't either.
Wonka, not Willy Wonka, Wonka
Wonka, the new one.
with Timothy Chalamet,
Tony's favorite movie.
Bob Dylan. That trailer looks great.
Although I don't
Side
know.
note: if you haven't seen the trailer for A Complete Unknown, starring Timothy Chalamet as Bob Dylan, where Timothy Chalamet is actually singing,
So good.
you should watch the trailer. It looks fantastic. And Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
What?
Isn't that a movie musical? Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it be?
Well, I was thinking because it's sort of like Mamma Mia. It's like telling his story using his own songs, right?
You know what's funny? I forgot Mamma Mia wasn't on here because it was at one point, and then I reworked things. When I looked at my list
Mamma Mia's
again,
so good.
I do like Mamma Mia. I like the second one better.
No, you don't. You like the first one better.
No, I like the second one better because it's Fernando.
Oh,
And
I like them both.
And the Waterloo.
I like them both, even though they don't
And
stay
I-
true to the original.
And I think
story.
Lily James is very attractive.
They don't.
So does Amanda Seyfried. But...
They get the men.
Well, you're in both of them, so
Oh, is what's her name?
Christine Baranski.
Love her.
Who was
The
also
best line in
in-
that movie is, I think the love of my life might be carbs, and then Christine Baranski goes, then mine must be wine.
Well, and the song from what was almost her wedding song was "Does Your Mother Know?"
Yeah.
And it would have just been the music video from the first movie. My top three are
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Yeah, we all know that. Just all default get 2 points there, all around. Everybody gets 2 points. We all knew it. We all just should have put 1.
The Muppets, and Wonka.
Oh,
Shocking to me that, because
yeah.
did anyone put Wonka?
No.
Which is shocking.
Well, Andrew put Willy Wonka. It's not right, but someone did
Which is
have
shocking to
them
me
represented.
for one reason and one reason only. And I get it. There's some confusion on whether or not Willy Wonka and Wonka are musicals, which they are, but there's some confusion. When that movie was in theaters, people were like, I wasn't expecting it to be a musical, which I don't know why you weren't, because the Gene Wilder one is a musical. But anyways, we saw that. You and I, Brad and Justine, saw that movie together. When it ended and we left the theater, I said, Willy Wonka is my favorite movie of all time. This might be number 2. I loved that movie.
It was really good. Tony really likes it, but I don't know if he likes the Wonka better or the original, because it's a hard...
Well, he likes the Oompa Loompas in the original,
But he likes the Scrub song.
He likes the Scrub song from Wonka. And he likes Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
I think he likes them both a lot.
It's great. That's great for me. Really great for me.
Points?
Jeremy has 3.
On the board.
Julie has 2. Justine has 2.
Justine has 2.
Brad has 3.
Brad has 3.
And Ryan got 2.
Ooh.
Andrew got 3. And I got 4. I snuck Moulin Rouge in there.
I'm shocked Brad even got 3, because Brad
doesn't like musicals.
Notoriously does not like musicals. And even admitted to me when I had to tell him, like, we had to re-record it. He said, like, I really struggled, because I, like, didn't even know 3 to tell you.
Alright, here's where we're going to go off the rails.
So our final category was technically split into 2 subcategories. They did it on Smosh, and I knew it would kind of be hard for people to do this, but I still want to do it anyways. Our final category is celebrity crushes, which we then split into male and female celebrity crushes, because I couldn't narrow down the 2 together into 10. So,
well, that would have been harder. I think it's easier to do male and female separated. All right. So, Jeremy guessed Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Hugh Jackman. Chris Hemsworth is
Thor.
That's what I thought. The other one is from The Hunger Games.
Liam, yes.
Julie guessed Robert Downey Jr., Ryan Reynolds, and Chris Pine. Justine guessed Adam Sandler, CM Punk, Timothée Chalamet. Brad guessed Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, and Seth MacFarlane. Ryan guessed Ryan Reynolds, Owen Wilson, and Cillian Murphy.
Wow.
Andrew guessed Andrew Garfield, Chris Evans, and Robin Williams. What funny guesses. I guess Robert Downey Jr., Ryan Gosling, and Hugh Jackman.
He would, because he sent those to me. When he said Robin Williams, he was like, more for like vibes, not really a crush thing.
Yeah, well, that's sort of even like male and female.
What's really funny to me, Andrew Garfield is not on my list, but I do love Andrew Garfield.
There's something creepy about him. It's the roles he plays. It's not him.
He's a little strange.
It's not him.
Because he also picks like very religious roles to do a lot.
Yeah, and like a lot of, because he was Tammy Faye Baker's husband. I forget his
when he
name.
was in that,
and he was in
that Hulu show.
Yeah, what was that? Under the Banner of Heaven.
Under the Banner of Heaven. He was also in that war movie where he's like the.
Oh yeah, like the chaplain or whatever.
No, I think he's a medic. And it's a whole thing about like he doesn't fight because of his religion.
Yeah.
It was a Mel Gibson movie, I think.
But I don't know that he's like overly religious.
He did an interview where they asked him like, "Why do you do such religious movies?" And he did answer, and I forget what it was. But anyways, what's funny to me is not that I don't find Andrew Garfield. I mean, he's got great vibes. He's an attractive guy. What's funny to me is I have made it very known on social media and in person that I think Andrew Garfield looks a lot like Andrew. So it's very funny to me.
Well, maybe he thought
that Andrew put Andrew Garfield for this.
Maybe he felt like, oh, maybe you really resonate with him.
Because
you two were close. There must be something about Andrew Garfield.
Like, if you're trying to say that, like Andrew, if you're trying to say that, like, whether or not I think you're attractive, of course I think you're attractive. You're very attractive.
All right, let's hear it.
I don't think there's anybody else on there that really stood out.
No,
to me. It's like,
no, they're all pretty. Adam Sandler's a funny one, but like it makes sense.
Justine's are very funny in the sense of like
they're all over the place.
If I was going for straight vibes, 100%. Like
Adam Sandler for sure.
Yeah, the man
it's just funny because
to have that level of fame and still be able to just walk around in basketball shorts and a hoodie all day long. Like,
and also to cast yourself as the leading man in your movies and then give yourself a smoke show wife in every movie. But like.
When he's so smart, like he just completely monetized. Like, I'm just gonna work with my friends all the time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make movies where I just get to hang out with people I like.
But like, I don't know that like. If you were to be like, oh, let's name some like really attractive male stars, you're definitely not thinking that.
What is kind of funny is that none of his movies are in my top 10, but I love his movies. There's a handful.
I mean,
that I
Grown
don't-
Ups belongs as my number one.
There's a handful I don't care for, but
Yeah,
most
of
of his
course.
movies,
Yeah, yeah.
most of his movies I love. So
I just
my
think Chris Hemsworth is such a funny one. I don't know why.
it's funny. I thought of today.
And Seth MacFarlane snuck his way in there.
I really want to put up somewhere. So you clarifying which Hemsworth was which reminded me. They were talking about something the other day that made me think of the Skarsgårds, because there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
There's Alexander Skarsgård. There's Bill Skarsgård. I want to say Peter is the third one.
Which is the one from Mamma Mia.
I'm pretty sure that's Alexander Skarsgård. You have your phone. I'm pretty sure that's Alexander Skarsgård. What my question was going to be was,
Oops.
like, put all 3 of them next to each other. Like, here's, because it's father and 2 sons. So, like, this is the picture of him, this is the picture of the son. Like, here's the dad, here's the 2 sons. And I wanted to put, like, just the picture, not the names. Figure it out. Because I could be totally wrong on this.
Stellan.
Stellan Skarsgård. So
He
there's-
plays Bill.
So is there 4?
I don't know.
Are there 4 Skarsgårds? Is Peter not one of them?
Alexander, Stellan, and Bill.
So I was...
Bill is the son.
So Peter.
Stellan is the dad. Alexander and Bill are the sons. it
And
looks
Bill
like.
is the one from It, I believe. He plays Pennywise. Or
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
Or is that Alexander? And what's Alexander look like? Let me see his face.
Oops, hold on.
Sure.
Oh, Jesus. Now we're back to other things that I've searched.
Trying to remember what he's in.
Hold on. Oh my god. It's just going back to... What? Alexander's that guy. Oh, never mind. Oh, let's see if I can see him.
What was he in that I've seen?
Tarzan, True Blood, Little Lies, Infinity Pool, Succession.
Succession. Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay. So
They don't look anything alike.
none of their names are Bill. Why did I... Or no.
Yeah, Bill. There's no Peter.
There's no Peter. But here's my question. What I was going to put up, and I did not remember that was his name in Mamma Mia, so that doesn't hold any bearing here. I wanted to put up a picture of the 3 of them, and just ask, like, of these 3 men, which do you think is named Bill? Because not that I think the younger one, like, that, Stellan fits that would be his name, but, like, I see Stellan Skarsgård, and I'm like, no, your name is Bill. Like,
Okay.
you look like your name is Bill.
Because his name is Bill in Mamma Mia, so that's...
But I don't think that's not why. I think it's just because, like,
he looks like he should have.
like, of the 3 of them, it looks like his name should be Bill. Maybe it's because it's like I feel like Bill is a very, like, dad,
Yeah.
older
yeah,
man name.
yeah,
So I'm
maybe.
thinking, like, oh no, Bill is definitely the dad. But my top 10 are, and this was a weird, like, there's not a whole lot, while it is crushes, this isn't a whole lot of, like, sexual connotations. It really is more vibes.
Well, and some of
Um,
it could... Yeah, it's like... The criteria isn't just physical appearance.
Yeah.
It's also, like... And it's probably a little bit similar
Well, it's
for
overall
females.
appearance, it's demeanor, it's
Yeah.
attitude,
Yeah.
swagger. Like, it's legit vibes.
Yeah, it's a whole overall.
So we've got John Mulaney,
Oh, I forgot about that guy.
Robert Downey Jr.,
Yeah, we all knew it. Okay, we have a kid named Tony.
Tom Holland, Chris Evans.
He's Spider-Man.
Chris
right?
Evans. Yes, that's Spider-Man. Tom Holland. is
Someone did
Spider-Man.
guess Chris Evans, didn't they?
Chris Pine is who you're thinking
Oh,
of.
dang.
Julie guessed Chris Pine.
Oh
What kind-
no,
What kind of
Andrew guessed.
what kind of tree is it? What kind of tree is it? Is it Chris Pine? Dan Levy, Ryan Gosling,
Oh,
from one of our favorite YouTube shows, Link Neal.
yeah, that's for hair.
That's for he like the way he dresses.
Yeah,
their
he's very-
their photos from when
Yeah.
they go on Fallon, like he's got great style.
yeah.
I mean, he's a wild card when it comes to so many other things, but like great
Yeah.
sense of style. I mean, they both do. I had this conversation with Kristen about what my lists were, and I showed her like who they were and refreshed her memory. And I'm like, I understand from how they look, Rhett McLaughlin makes more sense for me, especially when I had longer hair. But like,
Yeah, he dresses a little bit more like folksy, sort of like hippie.
I do like a lot of the stuff he wears, though.
Whereas,
but I
like,
think Link has a
tends
more.
to be more like classy gentleman looking.
Yeah.
Relaxed. But,
Link Neal,
yep.
the most controversial pick on this list, apparently, according to
It's
someone
disgusting.
on
It's
this
disgusting.
show. George Clooney.
Even though, like, I don't know why. It just feels so, like, stereotypical.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds is a good one.
And this one might be sneaky for people. Steve Carell.
Oh, no one guessed him.
I think especially as he has aged,
Oh, definitely.
he has become a lot more. I mean, he was always handsome, but I think he's become more handsome. You see him on the red carpet, again, great sense of style, great sense of humor, a very funny man. My top three are Robert Downey Jr.,
Mm-hmm.
Link Neal, and George Clooney.
I mean,
And I put
what
George
were the Robert Downey Jr.
top three,
Yeah.
Link Neal and George
Oh,
Clooney.
okay, got it.
No one's getting either one of those.
No.
I will say
I just needed to double check.
to defend. So you're very anti George Clooney. I don't understand why, but you are.
Oh.
In defense of my choice, I picked George Clooney in the sense of, number one, I wrote this list beforehand, but Ocean's 11 was on at my parents' house the other day, and there were scenes that I thought, I'm watching them and I'm like, damn, George Clooney is handsome.
Yes, he is.
Like, he's a very handsome man. But also, George Clooney, so I used to joke that, like, I aspired as I aged to grow into Jeff Bridges. Not a bad choice. Jeff Bridges is a great guy. But as I've thought about it more, I think who I really aspire to age into is George Clooney. The man is suave.
Yes.
Like, the man has charisma like you would not believe.
But, like, you don't see much of him anymore.
Well, that's kind of the point.
I mean, he
But
was.
he never did. Even when he was on
Yeah.
ER, like at the
He's
top of his
pretty-
fame, he was very like
Notorious Bachelor.
he was a
Not
very
anymore,
private
but
man.
He's married now, but.
But I think like he's always just like very charming, got a great smile,
Yeah.
like just
And I
whiz
feel
off
like-
the charts.
His look has literally never changed.
No,
His hair, nothing.
yeah,
He's just always been. What you saw in ER is the George Clooney you see today.
he's so handsome, so handsome.
He's aged well.
Yeah,
He's like Pierce Brosnan has aged very well.
do you
Which
prefer Pierce Brosnan with the pirate mustache
No,
and
I
beard that
think
he had
without.
for a while?
I think
or
without. Who's the other guy?
the other
Who was
guy?
in Bridget Jones? Who was also in Mamma Mia.
Colin Firth.
Yeah, I'm like it's the one of the Collins, but not.
Mr. Darcy.
Yeah. He's also aged very well. He's looking a little old now, but like.
The Kingsman.
Yeah. The King's Speech.
He was also in the King's
Yeah.
Speech, which really. Did I ever see him in anything else before the King's Speech? I might not have.
Well,
I just remember him being an absolute tour de force in that movie.
yeah.
Um,
All right, so
points.
Jeremy got 2. Julie got 3.
Why does this pen not work when I start writing? 3 for Julie.
Justine got 0.
Oh, bummer.
Brad got 2.
Ooh.
Ryan got 1. Andrew got 1 because he somehow snuck Chris Evans in there, and I got 3.
So going into the final round, our scores are Jeremy with 5, Julie with 2, 3, 4, 7, Justine with 7, 8, 9, 11, Brad with 9, 11, 14, 16,
Ooh.
Ryan with 5, Andrew with 3, 6, 9, 12, and Kelly with 10, 16, 19.
What did Brad have? Oh, I think he had 16.
16.
Yeah. So it all comes down to this.
3-point difference. Our final category of female celebrity crushes.
All right.
This also was kind of all over the
This
place.
is all over. We do have some repeats, but this is all over.
But my point is, this is more like my criteria for picking. Still, vibes. A lot of things went into this, but this is a more... I feel like this is a more sexual based.
Well,
this
more
falls
looks.
more into the crush.
This is the look.
Like-
yeah, more looks.
But still, same, like,
Um,
not just based purely on sexuality.
So, Jeremy said Rhea Ripley, Margot Robbie, Elizabeth Olsen. I forgot about Margot Robbie. Julie said Eva Mendes, Scarlett Johansson, Natalie Portman. Justine said Anne Hathaway, Natalie Portman, Scarlett Johansson. Brad said Scarlett Johansson, Mila Kunis, and Anne Hathaway. Ryan said Blake Lively, Angela White, and me. Because I guess I am a celebrity.
I mean, we do have a YouTube show, so...
Andrew said Courtney Miller, Amelia Clark,
probably
Clark?
from Game of Thrones.
and Margot Robbie.
You know Amelia Clark from that awful Christmas movie. That, Last Christmas. She's the main girl in that movie.
Oh. And I said Elizabeth Banks, Kristen Bell, and Selma Hayek. I am all the way out in left field compared to everyone else.
A lot of Scarlett Johansson. A lot of
We're not
Scarlett
a big-
Johansson was kind
We're
of...
not a big Scarlett Johansson fan in this house.
I like her a lot. I didn't think of her to put on this list. I mean, she's very attractive, but, like...
She always just, like, plays... Her characters are always like you're not supposed to like her. I don't know why.
I like her. My picks for my top 10.
See if we get any.
And I will admit, this is a top 10. This is a definitive top 10. I could have made you a top 100 whatever for even both male and female. I will admit there were some names left off of this list in an effort to try and trick Kelly, because Kelly is very adamant that my type is darker skinned, darker haired women.
Small. Also.
Smaller women, height wise.
Yeah.
So my answers
And
are
a very similar build.
well, really the only ones that were kind of left off. Well, we'll go back. So my top 10: Courtney Miller
Oh.
from Smosh, if those of you are unaware, Becca Scott, who I became aware of through Dropout,
Oh.
Elizabeth Banks,
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley,
Rhea.
Olivia Munn, Jasmine Cephas Jones, who played Peggy in Hamilton, the original Hamilton. Lupita Nyong'o,
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Tomlinson, Selma Hayek, and Kate Siegel. So Kate Siegel is in all of those Midnight Mass, Haunting of Bly Manor. What is his name?
I was thinking that you meant Katie Seagal
No.
from Sons of Anarchy.
No. I mean, very attractive, but what is
Or,
his name?
What's Love and Marriage? Is that what that show's called?
The Married with Children.
Yeah, Married with Children. That's the Frank Sinatra song then.
Yes.
Everyone knew what I meant.
Mike Flanagan, that's his name. So she is Mike Flanagan's wife, and he is the one who writes and makes all those shows. And she's in all of them.
Oh.
Very,
So,
very
Adam
attractive.
Sandler of her?
Very attractive. Well, no, because she's not like... It's not very Adam Sandler, because she's not a bitch, and she's not like the dumpy neighbor or whatever, which is what Sandler does.
Yeah. He always puts her
I'm
in...
married in the movie to a super hot woman, and my actual real life wife is the dumpy bitch who lives next door.
Well-
like...
In Just Go With It, she's the girl he leaves at the altar because she's cheating on him.
Yes. So that's Kate Siegel.
Oh, I've seen her. Yeah. Wait a minute. Go back. Let me see again. No, wait. Let me see her. Give
This
me
one?
my phone.
Oh. Well, you didn't specify. I'm not looking at you. I was looking at the phone because I was swiping. The white hair is the
She's definitely in something else.
what's
that
the
I-
Edgar Allan Poe show called? Oh my god, The Fall of the House of Usher. Why did I not remember that?
I'm just gonna.
She's been in other stuff. I just know her from Mike Flanagan's stuff. Figure it
No,
out.
I don't know. No, I don't know.
Does she look like somebody else? Is that what you're thinking?
She looks like the other daughter from 8 Simple Rules, and I knew that wasn't.
Oh
her,
yeah, a little bit.
But
I
I
see
was
that.
just trying to see, like, was there something?
Well, what's with the curly hair? That's what you're thinking of.
And just her, like, she has that same, like,
Similar.
facial,
I did think she was very attractive when I
very-
was
like,
of age of
slim
that show being on
ear,
TV.
like the same cheek indent. Not that it's not. I just think that.
Eva Mendes was a great answer that I didn't
I
think
know.
of.
Margot Robbie. I mean, you didn't pick her, but I forgot about her.
Yeah, I didn't pick Margot Robbie, but she was up there. My top
A lot of-
three.
Natalie Portman, Scarlett Johansson, Anne Hathaway, that whole, which is close. That's I mean.
Anne Hathaway is very attractive. Natalie Portman is attractive, but for some reason, I don't know that I think of her in a celebrity crush way.
She's a bit like you tend to pick like more funny females. She's a bit more political.
Yeah, it is strange.
Like
I am very clearly attracted to
Comedy.
funny women.
Yeah.
My top three are Olivia Munn,
Mm.
Becca Scott, and Selma Hayek. Selma Hayek, for those that do not know,
Brian's first crush.
was my very first celebrity crush.
I don't know why I remember that.
I
but
saw
just
her
do.
in Wild Wild West, which I don't give a fuck what Will Smith says. I think it's a great movie. It's very funny. I enjoy it a lot. I saw her in that movie, and I have been in love with her ever since.
And she's one too that like like this is her look.
Yeah.
Like she's.
And I think she's a great actress.
Yeah.
I think she's fantastic
She's so funny,
in the movies
too.
that she's in. She's very funny. Becca Scott, I feel like, is a strange one for me. I don't know what it is.
It's
Like-
probably because she's funny.
I mean,
Maybe
I'm
because
sure.
like a good smile. Maybe because like funny people tend to smile like because they're laughing.
When
and
I
stuff.
I don't know
Maybe
when I see her, I'm just like, God, she's so attractive.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, it's a weird, like, and it's also one of those things where, like, not that she's not attractive. Like, people they've joked on Dropout shows about how attractive she is. But, like, for some reason I see her and I'm just kind of like, in my mind, I'm like, why do I find you so attractive? Like, not in, like, a negative way, but it's a weird, like, I don't think I really have like, as I've aged, I don't think I have, like, this is my type. I think I did at one point in my life, but I don't anymore. So I don't know if I'm still thinking of, like, your thought of, like, this is the kind of woman that you really go for. And then when I see her, because she's not that, where I'm like, why do I find you so attractive?
Well, I feel like everybody though, like whether it's a celebrity or like someone you see on the street, where you're like, I don't know
'Cause,
what
like-
it is about. I mean, she looks like everyone else. Like, there's nothing like really.
She just had a baby recently.
Where I would think like, oh, what do you like about her? Maybe,
Yeah.
she has a nice symmetrical face. Maybe that is something that men find.
And
innately
my
attractive. So maybe that's what you see.
my honorable mention, because another one, and it's definitely the comedy aspect of it. Chloe Radcliffe, who I follow on Instagram. I don't remember how I discovered her, that I started following her on Instagram for her comedy. Cause
She looks very similar to that other girl, though.
she does stand up. Where, like, I don't know what it is. She's another one where every time I see her, I'm like, why are you so attractive?
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean-
Taylor Tomlinson is a surprise one for me. I don't think she's unattractive.
I mean, Chloe Radcliffe is made, it's horrible to say, like, it's made funnier to me because she does have a very large birthmark. It's like her entire cheek
Yeah.
is a birthmark.
Does she, like, make jokes
Oh, yeah,
about
she
it?
definitely
Okay.
acknowledges it.
I mean, you have to.
When she just did was she in New York? She ran into someone on the street, another woman who also has, like, it's like the mirror of hers. And she's like, it was so weird. Like, she took a selfie with her, posted a picture of it. But she's made tons of jokes of, like, dating and being like on the dating scene and like having sex with this big like cheek-sized birthmark on her face. She's very funny. But like it's another one similar to Becca Scott where I kind of see her and I'm like, I just don't.
I mean, I don't see what you don't. I'm not at all shocked.
Mm. I don't know why either. I don't know.
I mean, like, they're two like attractive brunette, small built women.
Well,
like, I don't.
Becca Scott's a redhead.
Yeah, but like not. I don't. It looks like she's had multiple.
I've
hair
only ever
colors.
seen her as a redhead.
Because the pictures that were on there, like she's got darker hair.
I've only ever seen her as a redhead.
But then it's like a dark red.
It's not like a bright, vibrant
No.
Conan O'Brien orange.
That's
but like,
why I think it's not natural. Which who cares? That doesn't matter.
What's funny to me is when we did this last time, you described Chloe Radcliffe, which was very funny to me. I don't know why. You saw a picture of her and you were like, "Oh, well, she's got a real girl next door vibe."
Yeah, they both do.
So I mean, sure, but like,
it's just like because they're not overly made up. So like what you're seeing is what their face really looks like. It's not makeup making their face look that way. So that could also be like a little bit of it is that you prefer someone with not a lot of makeup on.
Why is Taylor Tomlinson so surprising to you?
I don't know. I think I don't know what it is. I think she's cute. I just think like I don't know. I don't know what it is about her where I'm like, oh, I'm surprised you like her.
She's so funny.
She is very funny.
People were giving Netflix shit because they put a post up about like it was next, and it was something about because Rogan's got a comedy special coming out, Matt Rife has one coming out. I don't know who the third person was, but it was like the next big thing, the next this, and the next like whatever Joe Rogan's was the next something. Matt Rife was like the next big act, and then I think the last person was like your next favorite or something like that. It was someone I did not recognize, which I did comment like. I don't really have an opinion on Matt Rife, but to call him the next big act feels like a gross overstatement. This man feels more like a flash in the pan to me than anything else.
I don't care.
But a lot of people were like, that's cool, Netflix. Like, I guess women don't do comedy. Like, Taylor Tomlinson has 3 Netflix specials, but sure, she's not like the big deal.
Right.
She hosts at midnight. Like, she's hosting a TV show right now. These 3 are doing nothing.
Yeah, except for
a podcast and whatever Matt Rife does.
I mean, we will not be watching Joe Rogan.
I didn't really plan on it.
I would cancel Netflix before I would watch him.
I didn't really plan on watching his stand-up special. I don't really...
Well, don't, because I don't want Netflix to think that we...
No, I didn't... I don't watch his podcast. Like, I don't...
Maybe Matt Rife, too. Let's just not watch.
I don't really... I didn't watch his other special. Because I don't think...
He's not funny!
Well, the stuff I saw, like, it really screamed to me... Like, a lot of people... There was the complaint about his sexual assault joke and his domestic violence joke or whatever. I didn't watch it, so I don't have an opinion on it. But there were other people I saw that did watch it. And they're like, yes, while these jokes are not great, when you really boil it down, the jokes aren't good. Like, his delivery isn't good. And I'm...
Not like making it, it's a good joke.
With just seeing clips from, like, Netflix promoting it on Instagram, I just kept thinking, like, this doesn't feel like someone who's ready to have a Netflix special.
I thought, doesn't he already have one though?
He does now. His second one's coming out. We're talking about the first one. Where I felt like this is not a guy who's ready to have a Netflix special. And I don't know how long he's been doing stand-up at that point, but like he's only been like moderately known for a year, maybe 2. And I get that Netflix is just like, we cornered the market on stand-up comedy. Like, we're giving everybody specials now. But like, the guy became famous for doing crowd work on TikTok.
I never saw him.
And then you gave him a full-blown, like, hour-long comedy special. And it's like...
Yeah, and he kind of...
Bro, all you're known for is crowd work. And now you're trying to do actual jokes, and they're not good.
Yeah.
Like, even if it was a well-written joke, like, your delivery is kind of garbage. Like, but whatever. Yeah, I watch a lot of stand up, but not all stand up. Like I
Is
have
Joe
not.
Rogan even funny?
I think I watched one of his earlier specials, and it was, from what I remember, it was decent, but I don't really remember like hard. I remember laughing at
He's
it.
kind of like a wacko, so like, just wonder like, what are you?
Well, and that
joking
was, I also watched that like before he had a podcast, and like that was when
The
you're just
horse
getting
racing.
Joe Rogan of like, I was on Fear Factor, like that's the era of Joe
Yeah.
Rogan that you were watching do stand up at that point, and now it's like I have a podcast where I don't really have a political view, but when I do conservative interviews and I talk about conservative things, that's all that gets picked up. So people think I'm this weird right-wing neo-Nazi guy, even though I'm kind of not. I kind of don't give a shit.
He
but-
just kind of comes across as like not smart,
Well, I think his...
and like that might not be the case.
From what I have
but-
seen, because I do like people that are friends with him. I like Tom Segura. I like Burt Kreischer. Like I like people who hang out with Joe Rogan and are friends with Joe Rogan. I think, and he's done it in interviews before where he said, I think he is someone who is very curious and he's very like eager
Right.
to learn and learn new things and learn deeper about things he already knows about. And then that gets misconstrued by, I think he is more of an open-minded guy than people give him credit for. So I think it's just his conservative shit that gets picked up and ran with
Yeah,
as
yeah,
news
yeah.
stories. So I think he's been painted as like this Alex Jones, Trumper, right-wing nut job, when I think the reality
and
is
he just
like
like he's not gonna come out and
it's more him asking questions and him being curious, and he's like, because like the whole thing with the horse pills for COVID, that is a bit crazy. We're not gonna lie. I mean, you're taking fucking horse pills, but
I mean, he said he took them.
yeah, he did. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not denying he didn't. I'm not defending like, oh, he didn't. Like he did. He said he did. It's crazy, but I think he does that from the mindset of like, the vaccine can't be the only thing. Like, there's got to be other remedy, because he's also a weird like hunter, and the way he eats and his diet, because he's all into that UFC
he
shit.
runs
and-
like miles and miles and miles a day.
Yeah.
Like he
so
is
like he's really
in
like
shape.
he's a weird health guy. Like he's got a lot going on.
Which there's nothing wrong with like seeking alternative or even just wondering like.
But I think like
other- yeah.
people took that as like, oh, you're anti-vax because you're taking horse pills and you're some fucking asshole.
I
And
think
it's like,
he kind of was a little anti-vax.
but I think he was anti-vax in the way of like
I just have questions.
alternative medicine
Yeah.
and like
I
I
have
have
questions,
questions
yeah.
and yeah,
Maybe.
not anti-vax and like a how dare you tell me what to do with my body, like not in that way.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it was more
maybe.
like because he's very, in all aspects, like it's very alternative medicine and alternative faith and like very open like questions about the universe kind of weirdo hippie guy, more so than what people give him
I
credit for.
definitely don't want to watch it.
No, I don't watch it either. Like I wanted to watch shortly after Endgame, RDJ was on, but like I haven't. It's also like an hour and a half long, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't
he does
know
have
that I
super
want to
long-
watch like, because of it being Robert Downey Jr., I want to sit and watch it, but like I don't have the time to dedicate to sitting and watching.
You have to. Can't you just listen to it?
I could, but I don't. I'm more of a visual guy.
I hate visual podcasts.
I know you
I'm
don't.
not doing that.
I
If
don't.
you have a podcast,
I don't mind like
I don't want to have
his
to
show.
watch it.
His show you don't need to watch. It is not a visual podcast. I prefer them because I like seeing facial reactions and body language. It's the same thing that I watch. I enjoy watching stand-up comedy. I will listen to stand-up comedy on vinyl, and I had CDs and stuff growing up, but like, I prefer to watch it. The same thing. I watch comedians' podcasts because I prefer to watch them. I think it's funnier when you see how they're interacting.
Yeah, I
But
don't mind
audio,
like if I
love
can
how did this
watch
get
it,
made.
but I just don't like
Yes.
the like when I have to
You're
just watch
des-
a movie,
you
a
are-
video.
You're
clips.
describing your mom's house.
Yeah,
Which is what your mom's house is. I was always very curious if like, do you cut this? Like, is this a weird like this is how you watch it on YouTube, and then if you listen to it, none of this is in there?
no, it's all in there.
But it is. It's the same. What's
Chris-
stranger to me?
Christina's is the same way.
What's stranger to me too is they don't describe like what's happening. Every now and then they do, but like they'll watch like 5 clips and they don't describe
No.
to like, oh, for those of you listening,
You can hear if there's sound on the video. Like
yeah, you just hear like a guy screaming though,
Yeah.
but they're not telling you like, oh, this is a guy in a garage and a car backed into him,
Yeah, no.
because that's part of their horrible, hilarious lineup. But like, yeah, that I do agree that I don't care for the like you have to watch this to get it.
Yeah. Because, like, I
Um,
listen to my podcast. Like, if you offer visual, cool. And, like, maybe when I'm at home, like, I would tune in visually.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't want to be pinned down. I want to choose how I...
The last bit of elaboration I will give on the female ones, Courtney Miller is on here. Courtney Miller I have loved since I started watching Smosh during a little before COVID, but during COVID is when I really got
Yeah.
into YouTube. My YouTube era really began with COVID.
I think everyone's YouTube era began with COVID.
But I really stuck with it. I think people kind of fell out of it.
No,
I've
yeah.
stuck with Good Mythical Morning
I
and
think a lot of
Smosh,
people
and
did. Just because, like...
I've fallen out of the Try Guys, if we're being honest. But that's a different story for a different episode. Not for anything really. Like, I don't stand with Ned Fulmer, but like, I don't know. Their content just became like, it's either Keith eats
It just
everything,
got boring, that's all.
or it's I don't care for Zach. So like, I didn't need to watch a video. Like, I think Zach is fine in other videos. I don't think Zach can carry a video, and they tried that for a while and it didn't work. So in their content for a couple months was just like, here's Keith eating. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I can only watch so much of this man eating. I love Keith Habersberger. I can only watch so much content of this man eating entire menus from fast food restaurants.
Yeah, it got old.
But I would have, like, I easily could have put Amanda. I did not put Amanda because I thought you would have guessed Amanda.
Yeah, I forgot.
Because she really fits that
I
criteria.
forgot, like, anyone
Amanda
that
Lehan
was...
Canto.
That, like...
A darker skinned, darker haired,
She's very tall.
curvy woman from the eastern seaboard of America. Or the East Coast, not the eastern
Is
seaboard.
she?
She's from Boston.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I
She does
could
not have a Boston accent, though.
She can go into it. She also has a great Irish accent, but
Well,
no.
sure.
But I could have put Arasha on there. I think
They all are.
I think
yeah.
the true wild card for you is I could easily put Angela on this list.
She's one where I'm like, sometimes like, oh, she's so cute. And then other times I'm like, what are you doing with your feet? I don't know, like, she's a very big mouth, which I think also really throws me off sometimes.
I think
Because, like, she's a little head and a big mouth.
I think in every video I've ever seen of her on Smosh, the best way to describe her is a tornado. Like,
Yeah.
She comes in so hot, and she is all over the place. And I feel like she's always like 0 to 100.
Yeah.
So quick.
She's very funny.
And that could be what it is. Like, I think she's very attractive. I think terms of like how she looks, she is 100% a girl I would have tried to date in high school.
She has a real alternative vibe. Like, I wonder what she looks like in real life.
But I follow her on Instagram. I
Because
follow all of
Courtney
them.
looks the same.
I follow all of them on Instagram.
But
But
I feel like when she's gonna go out, I think her look is different than when she's in a video.
did you see the pictures of her at Shane and Courtney's wedding?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so different.
That's what I mean. Like,
It's so different than what she's normally dressed as. Like, when I first saw them, it took me a second to realize it was Angela.
like just to see her in like her natural habitat versus like work.
But yeah, I could have probably put the majority of the ladies from Smosh on there, but I didn't because I didn't. They're not inhabiting. They're not all inhabiting my top 10.
Right.
B, I probably would have put Amanda in here, but I left her off to throw you off because I thought for sure, like, oh,
No, I forgot about any
dark hair, dark skin. It's Amanda Leanne Canto.
Any
Mexican salsa, yes. Like,
any internet person
Yeah.
I forgot about.
oh, did we do points for that one? We
Um,
did not. So I can tally these points up.
okay, so Jeremy has 1. We got a couple zeros on here. And by a couple, I mean a lot. Julie has 0. Justine has 0.
Ooh, bummer.
Brad has 0.
Bummer.
Ryan has 0.
Bummer.
Andrew has 1. And I have 3.
So our totals
Because
after...
Selma Hayek was in the top 3, right?
Yes.
Okay, then yes.
Our totals after 6 rounds. Jeremy has 6 points. Julie has
6.
7 points.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one.
Justine has 11 points. Brad has 16 points. Excuse me. Ryan has 5 points. Andrew has 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 13 points. And Kelly has 5, 10, 14, 17, 22 points.
Ooh-wee.
So our winner, by a margin of 6 points. Yeah, by a margin of 6 points. It's
Me.
Kelly. I mean, shocker.
Well, yes and no, because those last two I really was not. It was only because of Selma Hayek.
I mean, TV shows, Brad gave you a run for your money.
Yeah.
You guys were close with...
Yeah, it was really TV shows that...
what category was this?
But then
Movie
Brad
musicals.
got burned by the last two.
Yeah, the last two really suffered.
Well, and music a little bit, but...
I mean, you were only 1 point different for the men.
But, like, in terms of catching up,
Yeah.
that's what it just... But no one did terrible.
I
mean, everybody got...
Ryan did terrible.
Yeah, but he did, like, no one got 0. And he did get 2 that were in the top 2.
Like,
In the top 3.
Do better, my guy. He admitted when he sent that text, like, we need to hang out. Like, I don't know. He was like, I don't really know a lot about you, like, clearly. Like, I didn't realize it until now. And he's like, I think it just says we need to hang out more, which, correct.
Or, and it could have, like, he did get some good guesses. Like, none of them were, like...
No, that's
So
that's
far
why
off.
that's why I didn't want to know.
Frozen and High School Musical were pretty far off, but...
I've never seen High School Musical. And Tangled is better than Frozen.
Like, well, not far off. Like, they're within the realm of possibilities, but...
Well, that's why when I sent the text out, I'm like, send your answers to Kelly. Because I didn't want to know people's answers ahead of time. I thought it'd be more sporadic, more spur of the moment, kind of reactionary from me. And also, like, because Julie made the comment, Brad may have made the comment, and Justine, I forget who all did, like, oh, this will be hard for me. And I basically said, like...
What's the point?
Well, not that it's... The point wasn't to be hard. I think the point was more like, you guys know me well enough that, like, I can't imagine anyone's answers are going to be super far off, where I'm going to think, like, have we ever met? Like,
right. Yeah, no
and they were all, like, yes, they may not have been in my top 10, but, like, there wasn't an answer that was a serious answer where I really thought, like, where the fuck did you get that from?
Yeah,
like,
and some of them are, like, some of the guesses where it's like, that's wrong, but I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, exactly.
And the point is, like, because even for me, it wasn't that it was hard. It's hard to narrow it down. Like, that's the point, is to, like, it was supposed to make you think.
Exactly.
Like, you gotta think about it.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the show. If you are watching this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to get notified when we have new episodes drop. If you are listening to this, rate, review, subscribe. According to How Did This Get Made, if you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify, make sure that you are subscribed.
And rate and review.
Well, rate and review, but make sure you're subscribed and you have automatic downloads turned on. It's apparently on Apple and Spotify. That's a big thing.
Yeah, because the more downloads.
So when it comes out, it automatically downloads to your library or whatever. I don't know. I get most of my podcasting like how I should end these things and what I should be telling people to do from Paul Scheer on How Did This Get Made. But yeah, thank you for joining us. We will. Yeah, we don't have anything going on. We'll see you next week because we have nothing going on that I have to cancel an episode. So yeah, that's it. We love you, and as always, thank you for being a friend.